Okay, so if you see that little stain up there, yeah, that came from Hurricane Sally. Hurricane Sally was a bitch. But yeah, that's what that's about. Hurricane Sally was my first hurricane I've ever experienced, and I haven't lived in Florida my whole life, just lived in Florida as a whole for about 4 years. But it was almost a Hurricane 3. It was in between a 2 and a 3. And it was pretty damaging, so we're really thankful that that's like the only damage we got, because there were a lot of people in much worse situations where roofs were ripped off, roof damage, like serious roof damage, trees on houses, trees on cars. There's a house in my neighborhood where a big ass tree is just like completely destroyed the roof. So between the trees falling and hitting roofs, there's also the wind that fucked up roofs, water, it rained a fuck ton. Most people in the city were without power for several days. So yeah, I just wanted to explain that because that's where that came from. But anyways.
He said he couldn't own guns. The only way that is you either have a violent misdemeanor or you have a felony.
Mm-hmm. What is up, you guys? So today I'm doing a thrift haul and style. So at the latter part of the video will be how I style a lot of these things, and right now will be the little show and tell. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, these are my paint clothes, which I actually wear quite often. I did a try on video with these, but these are now covered in paint. But they're the only pants that get the brunt of the paint because I don't want to ruin all my pants. But they're not really covered, but it's got paint all over it, and the pants are basically covered. So yeah, I guess we'll just get started. I guess so I will tell you the prices that I paid, because I've heard people say that it's like a pet peeve when people don't say like how much they pay for things. But I understand if you're just curious, but you're not going to be able to go out and buy these things and expect it for that specific price necessarily, because it's vintage, and you know, my source is like whatever flea market, thrift store, things like that around me, vintage shop, stuff like that around me. So obviously the vendor is going to be different, so their prices are going to be different all throughout. But yeah, anyways, this is a gold-plated, 24 karat gold-plated butter dish thing, and then a plate. And I think it would look freaking beautiful on a vanity or like in a boudoir closet, whatever situation. But I don't need that in any of my setups, because I like what I have going on right now in there, and I have enough shit on my vanity and enough shit in my closet. So I'm actually just going to keep it on my dining table here in my kitchen. So that, the plate, along all that I just showed you, it was $6 for the whole ordeal. And then this teacup and saucer is Staffordshire. This was kind of expansive. Pink and gold, how freaking gorgeous is that? But I still have part of the tag on there, but anyways, I'm actually going to use this as like on my vanity for my lip glosses and stuff like that. So like my most used lip glosses here, and then like on the saucer. I just think that looks cute. And then I shared in my last video a little gold compact mirror. Well, I decided to bling it out. So there's that. I use a combination of vintage and new jewelry to do shit like that. The next piece is a little recycled jar. It was some kind of lotion that was in it, and the top was like a plain gold. And I just put my African shea butter in it because I didn't like the African shea butter container. It was just like a plain like plastic jar or whatever. So I wanted it in something prettier so I can keep it sitting out because this product is amazing. And yeah, it's just pure African shea butter. It's just amazing for me because I have very sensitive skin and my skin is like acne prone. Like I break out easy. I struggled with acne when I was like a teenager. But anyways, and I still struggle with breakouts now. Sometimes here and there, you know. But yeah, this product does not break me out and it keeps me moisturized and stuff like that. And I wanted to keep it out, so I use it. But I didn't like the container, like I said, so I used this. And I bedazzled, bejeweled, whatever you want to call it, the top of it. So now it looks really pretty sitting out on my vanity, and I use a combination of vintage and new jewels. Another little simple thing that I did was this perfume I had, and I just added the vintage stone to it. So now it elevates it and it makes it look more, I don't know, pretty. So okay, so the next thing I have is this vintage carousel horse, and I got it from the flea market and I paid $10 for it. I've toyed around with the idea of painting her, but honestly I think that she's beautiful the way she is, so I'm just gonna keep her the way she is. How about this box? So stinking freaking pretty. I'm really picky about florals. I don't just like any floral. I don't like but so much floral because I don't want it to feel like grannied out. Okay, so next, I shared with you guys in my last video some vintage handheld mirrors that I adorned with a combination of vintage and new stones, jewelry, things like that. Well, this is another one that I have recently done, and this one was, the back of it was all covered in like this ugly blue plain like felt fabric, and that's all it was. So yeah, I ripped that off with a razor, and that was a whole bunch of fun. But anyway, I recovered it in this fabric that is just kind of like for a peekaboo effect, and then I bedazzled it with a lot of different stones and jewelry, things like that. So it looks beautiful sitting out on a vanity, or just wherever for whatever your vibe is. And then in my last video, I shared a mirror that looks exactly, or it was this same kind of mirror. I actually got these mirrors from thrifting, and it was like a package deal where it was like 2 of them. Actually it came with 3, and one of them was broken, unfortunately, but I was willing to pay the price to get the 2 of them. And I think I paid $5, so I got 2 vanity mirrors for, you know, $2.50 each. Or ones that are not broken, obviously. So yeah, this one, I did it differently. So the one that looks like this, I already shared that one, and it looks completely different. But yeah, this one is these stones. The first vanity mirror that I have ever redone is this one. And this one already had a fabric, and I liked the fabric, so it's kind of like for a peekaboo effect, where you just kind of see it in a background along with all the jewels. So yeah, super pretty sitting out on a vanity again, or just wherever throughout your house. I like this stuff kind of sitting throughout my house just because it feels more fantasy to me, and I like my art like surrounding me. It inspires me to keep making more. So anyways, this is something I've wanted for a while, but if you are really into interiors, you know that good tiger print like this is expensive. But yeah, I got this on Cherish, which I generally do not shop on Cherish because it's like the premium price point for vintage goods, and I basically just live in the thrift stores as a second home, I guess you could say. I am always scouring the thrift stores or whatever, and so I'm used to those types of prices, and I'm willing to do DIY or something like that if things need some cleaning up, some help, reupholstering, stuff like that. I'm good with that versus paying like premium prices for things on Cherish. But I found this and it was $52, which wasn't bad considering that this fabric in anything is like really pricey. It did come unstuffed, but I stuffed it with a pillow that I actually already had from a thrift store that happened to be the same dimensions. So yeah, if that pillow came stuffed, it would have been a lot more expensive. So that's just another little tip for people who like a pillow or an ottoman or a poof or whatever, but buy it unstuffed and then just stuff it with some shit from that you already have, or find pillows at the thrift store and use that to stuff it. They're pretty. I love the shade of pink. Okay, so next is this marble. I think it's an ashtray because it seems to fit my e-cig, which is like the same size as a cigarette, or close to it, pretty nicely. But this would also look good on a vanity or somewhere like your closet or somewhere where you could like store earrings or something. I love vintage marble. I love marble in general. So if I see marble stuff at a thrift store, I tend to want to pick it up. So the next thing I got is this vintage pink foot massager. Like, how freaking cute is that? I didn't know what it was until I saw right here where it says foot massager. And I was like, oh wow, that's so cool. So I actually just keep this where my vanity is. It was $5. And then this picture, oh my gosh. The fact that it's pink and iridescent, yes, fucking ma'am. It is so beautiful. I got it for $3 at a flea market. So I keep it in my kitchen. No name, but just freaking gorgeous. And then the last thing I got is this Barbie case right here. I've had this for a little while now, but I haven't showed it to you guys. I don't think so. But yeah, it's just like a Barbie carrying case for, like, if you know, carry your Barbies around with like the outfits and all that. With the little handle on there, but I'm using it for makeup. And I keep it on my vanity just sitting up against my Art Deco mirror. So, look how beautiful. I just love it. I love the colors. And it is from 1989. Which is so cool. I love like the 80s and 90s Barbie. It's just so it to me. Anyways, I think I showed you guys everything. So wait, I do have a vintage fur coat that my mom got me at a yard sale, and it is just freaking gorgeous. I'm going to show it to you guys. Hold on. So this is the fur coat, and like I said, it's vintage. It came from a yard sale. It's very thick. So this is where my little carousel horse is. Excuse the ugly ass cords. And this pillow could really go anywhere, but for now she's just sitting right here in my kitchen, this little nook in my kitchen. So here on my vanity, oh, I moved my shell chair in here. Excuse the ugly cords. But, let's see, my husband's TV and PlayStation. But anyways, this is my vanity. I've showed this to you in my room tour and like other clips. This lucite mod shop desk or table with a glass top. And yeah, I'm using the Barbie piece, the Barbie container for makeup. Oh yeah, I made that. And that's for lipsticks. I adorned my hairbrush. That's the piece I showed you. That's the piece I showed you. Oh yeah, I adorned that. That's a vintage Avon collectible. Makeup brushes, vintage Chanel bag. Oh, that's the ugly internet. Art Deco mirror. Internet, woohoo. Vintage Louis bag. I actually keep my Derma wand in there. That's that piece I just showed you with some lip glosses and shit. Little vintage mirror. Vintage caboodle I got for $1. Little dating game. I just thought it was cute. It's like so 80s, 90s. And yeah, my pink shell chair, and then I keep like hair straighteners and stuff like that in that bag. Alright, so thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in my next video.